Hello everybody, it's Catherine from jaynecatherineonbooks, and nice to have your company today. I'm hoping this is going to go quite smoothly. We've been having loads of technical problems over the last few days, camera, internet, goodness knows what, so I've got my fingers crossed. So here with my November wrap up before we get into more Christmassy stuff. First of all, I just thought I'd show you what I didn't manage to finish from what I'd put on my TBR. As you know, I don't really like TBRs, but since I've been reading off my shelf this year, I've been putting together a bit of something. So The Wildwood, A Journey Through Trees by Roger Deakin. This is lovely. I am enjoying it. I am dipping in and out of it, and it's really interesting in his introduction about trees, and I just like this quote he put: "To enter a wood is to pass into a different world in which we ourselves are transformed. It is no accident that in the comedies of Shakespeare people go into the greenwood to grow, learn and change." And I quite liked that. I thought it was nice how he put that. And then also the Chinese count wood as the fifth element. Now I didn't know that, but I think it's very interesting because I think there's a lot of spiritualness about wood and trees and things. So I'm carrying on with that, and yeah, I'm enjoying the writing so far. Call Me Elizabeth. I have read this before, so I wasn't worried that I didn't get to it. The memoir. Do the Birds Sing in Hell? A real story from the Second World War. No, not got to that one. And then unfortunately I really wanted to get into this, The Diving Bell and the Butterfly, about the chap that had locked-in syndrome. But I will get to this very soon. It's not too thick. So what did I read? So first of all, I had one 3-star read, and I've already reviewed this, and it's The Windsor Knot. And yeah, there's a review on my last what I've been reading, so that was 3 stars. And yeah, I think hopefully the series will get better as it goes along. There is promise there, and from SK Bennett, and this is her first full adult novel rather than YA, and I think she's still feeling her feet. Then I had 2 4-star books. So the 2 4 stars were Holloway, and this is this lovely little book about trees, and Robert Macfarlane, Stanley Donwood and Dan Richards, and also the guy that has now passed away that did do some of these walks with him. And it's a lovely little book. I gave it 4 stars. It was just long enough. I think it got 4 stars because it was interesting, it was well written. I think it'd have dragged on if it had been any longer. It's all about how trees over the years, and people walking through, like the drivers that used to take the cattle through various paths, all got trodden down. And these like circular Holloways were formed, and there's several around the UK, and yeah, lovely little book, and again about the mysticism of trees, I think. Really, Roger Deakin, it's Roger Deakin that passed away, so the last book, the one that I'm reading at the moment, The Wildwood, that's Roger Deakin. So yeah, lovely, enjoyed it, 4 stars, well worth a read. I know it seems like it's not much for your money, but it's lovely. Next 4-star is Mum and Dad by Joanna Trollope. Now this is, I did explain a little bit about it when I did it as a TBR, and it's about a family, so it's a family drama. You know, I like family dramas. Joanna Trollope, you know, seasoned author, fantastic writer, she knows her craft very well, and it's really about all the nuances and of family life, and the Gus and Monica, the parents of this family, They go and move to France, and they buy an old vineyard, which is something they've always wanted to do. And they look after that for many years. The kids, there's 3 children. There's one son. No, there's 2 sons. The favourite son, the other son that doesn't think he's favourite, and the daughter. They've got children and their own lives. And, it becomes very apparent that all families go through the trials and tribulations, and they're not very well pleased when the father has a stroke in Spain, where this, did I say it was France? No, they moved to Spain, sorry, not France. I've got France on the brain. I'm sure I said they've got a vineyard in France. But anyway, it's Spain. And he has a stroke and is no longer able to look after this vineyard, and expecting a bit of help from the kids. And goodness me, what a struggle to get the kids to come and help. Oh, well, they shouldn't have gone to Spain. Why should we be having to trail over to Spain? And you think, cracky. They're busy with their own lives, and I think sometimes, it's the modern world. I think we can all say you get grown-up children and they get busy with their own lives and don't have time for you. So very well written, very authentic, for good 4 stars. Then, believe it or not, I got 5 stars. I can't believe that I got 5 stars, cracky. You've done well if you get 1 5-star, aren't you? I've got some cracking books this month. The Holiday, 5 stars, Tim Logan. I've already reviewed that. That's in what I've been reading recently. The next one is Rough Magic, Lara Palmer. Non-fiction book. Excuse me. I wasn't expecting to love this as much as I did. Sometimes non-fiction, memoir type books I find can be a touch boring. I'm hoping she goes on and writes a novel, actually. It reads like a novel. It's so well written and so interesting. So this is the wildest horse race that happens in the wilderness in outer Mongolia. And Lara Palmer is actually the niece of Lucinda Palmer, who is an Olympian horse woman. And I don't know if she's sort of related to the royal family by so many, I don't know. But, a bit aristocratic family. And Lara never really competed in anything, wasn't all that interesting. Wasn't all that interested in horse riding, etc. And she heard about this tough horse race. It's 1,000 kilometres through extreme conditions across the wilderness, the Mongolian desert. And she enters. And she actually wins, and it's just a beautiful story, very well written. You fly through it. I'm trying to think if there's something, I've put these in, if there's bits and bobs. And also, the thing is that it helps the indigenous people there as well, because they all have wild horses, semi-wild. They're wild within a certain area that a family lives, and they bring them to certain rendezvous points on the race. And if they're, they're paid for bringing their horses there, and the riders choose who their next ride's going to be. So they ride a certain stretch and then they rest the horse and pick up another horse. So it's well organised, but it's rough, goodness me. And I think she found a lot about herself really in this. You don't spend all that time, I think, without sort of thinking about life and everything, because she'd put here something about time. Time becomes a tool for passing time itself. And because she keeps looking at her watch every 5 minutes. So yeah, I highly recommend that you read this. And yes, I'm hoping she's going to write a novel, because I think she's a fantastic writer. I don't know if she's written anything else, or this was her first go at it, but wonderful. Okay, so that was 5 stars. That's the second one. Next one, a watermelon, a fish and a Bible. Now these next two I'm going to review together. I'm trying to see, that's 1, 2. Mum and Dad is 4, right. Holidays 3. Magic's 4. No, I must have only had 4 5 stars then. So I've got 2 books here. The first one, A Watermelon, a Fish and a Bible by Christy, Lefteri. And the other one is The Go-Away Bird by Warren Fitzgerald. Now, these were amazing. And I'm going to give them a review on their own, really. Both very thought-provoking, very emotional reads. I have to say I cried in both of them. Goodness me, they were just so thought-provoking and sad in places and quite horrific. So The Watermelon, Fish and the Bible, that is actually in the 70s in Cyprus. And there was a war in Cyprus between the Greek Cypriots and the Turkish Cypriots. And it was harrowing. And basically, it's a group of women that their husbands have been killed or they've fled, and they're fighting for survival, really. And for those of you out there that are a lot younger than me, and you just think of Cyprus as somewhere you can go on holiday, and didn't realise that there really was horrendous war there in the 70s. And yeah, they're not holding back on the descriptions in this book either. And the same for The Go-Away Bird. So The Go-Away Bird is sort of along similar lines, except it's looking at the atrocities in Rwanda. I think it's in Rwanda. Is it Rwanda or Uganda? I can't remember now. No, it's definitely Rwanda. And the atrocities there, and one girl in particular that witnesses the murder of her parents. And eventually she does manage to get to freedom by coming to the UK. Now, alongside that, we've got a young chap who's a singing teacher in the UK. And I have to give that, there are trigger warnings in both these for quite violent, graphic descriptions. And also self-harm is depicted in The Go-Away Bird. And when I come to do my wrap-up, there's a contrast there. We've got all the slashing and slaying and the atrocities that's happening in Rwanda, and then back in the UK we've got this chap that's self-harming and slashing, and one is self-inflicted and the other isn't. And there's those two things going on, but they both help each other in the end. They both help each other along. So I'm not going to go into any more detail about those two, because, as I say, I want to give more detailed what I've been reading recently. I'm going to give a more detailed description there. So in actual fact, I've had 1 3-star, 2 4 stars, and 1 2 3 4 5 stars, not 5. Still pretty good going. 4 5 stars. Yes. Yeah. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 books read altogether. So I'm really pleased with that. So let me know if you've read any of them. And yeah, just thought I'd just give you a quick wrap up so you know what I did read in November. I know we're well into December now. But yeah, that's it for now then, guys. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you again next video. Take care. Bye for now.